Tony Filer on ManchesterRadioOnline.com.
Oh, man.
Ghoulies and ghosties and long-leggedy beasties and things that go in the night.
Dr. Kieran O'Keefe is a lecturer in the paranormal at Liverpool's Hope University, and he was resident parapsychologist on Living TV's Most Haunted. But he sensationally lifted the lid and claims that the public are being deceived by showmanship and dramatics. He says he isn't the only member of the crew who feels viewers are being cheated. Kieran says other crew members have been irked by what's going on because it turns what should be a serious investigation into a laughing matter. One clip, which was later edited out, according to Kieran, shows Carl Beattie push a soundman in the dark and pretend it was a poltergeist attack. They did one shoot at Castle Leslie, that's County Monaghan in Ireland, where a 17th century four-poster bed had been claimed to levitate. Kieran recalls, as we walked into the bedroom, Derek touched the bed and came out with extremely accurate information. He insisted he got all the information just from touching the bed, but it was the wrong bed. Kieran devised a plan to see if Derek was deceiving the public. While they were on a shoot at Bodmin Jail, Kieran O'Keefe invented a long-dead South African jailer called Creed Acorah. He wrote the name down and asked another member of the crew to mention it to Derek before filming. This is what happened on that particular episode.
Is he telling you something, Derek? Just giving you a name.
Creed!
Creed Acorah, apparently possessing Derek Acorah. If Creed Acorah sounds familiar, it's not because it was a long-dead South African jailer, it's because Creed Acorah is an anagram of Derek Faker. On the next shoot at Prideaux Place in Cornwall, this was 3 weeks later, Kieran made up another fictional character, a highwayman called Rick Eadles, an anagram of Derek Lies. And sure enough, Derek made contact with the dead outlaw. But who is wrong with this? First of all, surely Kieran, if he'd noticed this 3 weeks earlier, why didn't he bring it to the attention of the producers then? Why did he allow this to go out when he was supposed to be the professional, the skeptic, the paranormal investigator? I firmly believe that Derek is an excellent medium, is a genuine medium. I've seen far too much of Derek's work to not believe in what he does. Unfortunately, I think the lure of better ratings and impressing the bosses probably did cause Derek to get on their side of it. I do think Most Haunted started off great, but there's been a lot of complacency since. Not least with a man called Stuart Torvell. He's the rigger. He's related in some way to Yvette, either half-brother or step-brother, but he's known as Stuart Pebbles Torvell because he's renowned among members of the crew for sticking his hand in his pocket, taking a pebble out and throws them around. So Stuart Pebbles Torvell. Not only that, I've seen a video. Let me just explain before I play the audio to it. Stuart Torvell, the bald rigger, is sitting there around the table. There's him, there's Derek, there's Yvette, there's somebody else, and they're having a seance. There's a glass in the middle of the table. In plain view, on camera, Stuart Torvell's hand grabs the glass in the apparent pitch blackness, but we can see it on the night vision. He grabs the glass from Derek's hand and he throws it at the wall. Let's hear what Yvette actually made of this. Now remember, this glass was openly picked up by Stuart and thrown against the wall.
This is...
Flew right off your hand!
I threw that.
What?
Yeah, I threw that.
He even admits to throwing it himself. I threw that. This is how Derek covered it.
What?
Yeah, I threw that.
I felt it come from your hand as well.
Yes, he psychically felt it come from Stuart's hand. Oh, I don't know. I think my favourite of Kieran's little tricks has got to be one that was conducted at Craigavon Castle near Aberdeen. I hope I pronounced that right. He says, I made up stories about Richard the Lionheart, a witch, and Richard's apparition appearing to walk through a wardrobe. Think about that, the Lionheart, the witch and the wardrobe. True to form, Derek mentioned all Kieran's stories. Still, you might think it could be possible. Not so. Anybody with the slightest bit of history about them will know that Richard I reigned 500 years before Craigavon Castle was even built. And one of the 3-night special shows, which was filmed in Manchester, claimed to be broadcasting live from the site of Cheadle's Victorian Asylum, a place where, according to presenter David Bull, thousands of people died in torment. In fact, they were in the derelict remains of Barnes Convalescence Home, which had never been an asylum, and where nobody died in torment, despite the fact that the spirits Derek was supposedly communicating with gave the total opposite impression. All these were brought to the attention of Living TV, who hosts the show, but they said Living TV hasn't seen any of the filmed evidence but will fully investigate the claims. Well, that was a couple of years ago, and they still haven't done anything about the cons on the public. But what would you expect? Most Haunted is their most successful show. Perhaps they don't want to upset the apple cart. It was Yvette Fielding herself who said of the show, which is made by her husband Carl Beatty's production company, Antics Productions, "There's no acting in this programme. None whatsoever. Everything you see and you hear is real. It's not made up. It's not acted."
No, back to that chair. I've just realised that.
I just saw your face.
Derek Acorah, isn't it? Then I go,
Then you would have had a fag a minute later and got possessed 5 times after that.
You don't do the possessions as much, right?
No, because possessions aren't real. Because he's a fake bat.
If you say so, Yvette.
Right around the world. Right around the clock. This is Manchester Radio Online.